Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're decoding the fascinating mechanics of how human thoughts actually shape physical reality. And we're going to do this by stepping away from those mystical promises and grounding ourselves firmly in real, hard biological facts. Let's get right into it. So let's kick things off with the ultimate question. Are some people just exceptionally lucky, or do they actually know some secret to turning their dreams into tangible triumphs? I mean, have you ever wondered why certain individuals seem to just effortlessly bend reality to their will, while others stay trapped in this frustrating maze of unfulfilled wishes?
There is a really fascinating contrast in how we look at this. On one hand, you've got this alluring, almost magical idea of your mind acting as some sort of intergalactic transmitter, right? Like you're sending out cosmic frequencies to rearrange the universe. But on the other hand, we have the grounded, scientifically backed biological view. As experts point out, your thoughts are indeed material, but strictly in the sense that they're electrical impulses in your brain and chemical reactions within your cells. Not quite magic, but still amazing.
Section 1. Magic or Biology, the Roots of Manifestation. Now, a lot of us are pretty familiar with the classic rules for making wishes come true. Sources like the Yoga Journal suggest these really strict guidelines for fulfilling your desires. You know the drill. Write your goals out clearly in the present tense. Totally banish any negative words because, supposedly, the universe just doesn't process negative particles. Visualize your goal using all 5 of your senses, and finally, just release it to the universe. Honestly, it sounds incredibly beautiful, doesn't it? But that beauty definitely comes with a cost. Section 2. The Danger of Positive Thinking. So here's the crucial point. Psychological experts heavily warn against this whole illusion of control. When you start believing that your thoughts alone literally control the outside world, it leads straight into toxic positivity. It's like you're trying to just paint over real problems with a nice layer of pink paint. And worse, it creates severe anxiety and immense guilt when you inevitably experience negative thoughts or face normal life obstacles. People start unfairly blaming themselves. This fear of their own negative thoughts can even trigger or worsen conditions like OCD. People literally start believing their mind is a dangerous weapon simply because they aren't thinking positively enough. And think about what happens physically when we buy into this fear. If you genuinely believe a stray bad thought is going to ruin your life or magically manifest some disaster, you are actively trapping your nervous system in a chronic stress loop. Your brain constantly checks in on that bad thought, treating it like a very real physical threat. This constant fear of your own mind forces your body into a chronic fight-or-flight state. It floods your system with stress hormones and creates real, agonizing physical tension.
Section 3. The filters of our brain. Let's look at the actual brilliant biology behind how our minds alter our reality.
Okay, so your brain has this built-in filter called the reticular activating system, or the RAS. Every single second, we are bombarded by absolutely massive amounts of information. The RAS acts kind of like a bouncer at a club, filtering out whatever doesn't align with your internal beliefs. So if your dominant belief is that the world is an entirely hostile and dangerous place, your RAS will literally erase opportunities right out of your vision. You simply won't see them because your brain is just way too busy highlighting the threats.
We can actually trace this true chain of manifestation biologically. It all starts with a thought, which is really just a pure electrical signal. That signal then triggers a hormonal cocktail in your body, like cortisol if you're stressed, or dopamine if you're motivated. Now, this chemical state directly dictates your emotional state, which then heavily drives your behavioral choices. And ultimately, it's those behavioral choices, whether you defensively hide from the world or openly engage with it, that actually build your physical reality.
Section 4. Architect of your destiny. How to use this blueprint without falling back into magical thinking. To protect yourself from anxiety and all those obsessive negative thoughts, try practicing this incredibly powerful metaphor from psychologist Albert Safin. Imagine that you are the vast sky, and your thoughts, both the positive and the negative ones, are just passing clouds. You aren't your thoughts, you are just the observer of them. An ugly storm cloud doesn't become the sky, right? And it certainly doesn't stain it forever. Just recognizing this creates distance, instantly stripping those frightening thoughts of their emotional power over you. And please, remember, chaos happens to all of us. Safin actually shares this humorous little anecdote about accidentally breaking a tooth on a Snickers bar right before an event. Now, did he manifest that by not thinking positively enough? Absolutely not. It just means the universe is unpredictable, and hey, sometimes candy bars are hard. True power lies in choosing your response to the chaos, taking action to go fix the tooth, and not pretending you have magical, mind-bending control over a Snickers bar. This brings us to a massive strategy for success. We've all been told a million times to just visualize the finish line, right? But here's the kicker. Pure visualization of the end goal actually depletes your drive. Why? Well, because your brain gets a premature dopamine rush, totally assumes the goal is already achieved, and then literally stops sending you the energy you need to do the hard work. To actually succeed, you must mentally rehearse overcoming the inevitable internal and external obstacles as well. This perfectly prepares your nervous system for the real-world challenges ahead. So, if you want a grounded, biological blueprint for making things happen, here it is. First off, acknowledge your true emotions, without guilt. If you're anxious, admit it. Don't just slap a positive affirmation over it like a Band-Aid. Second, absolutely visualize your goal, but critically, visualize the obstacles too. Third, focus on realistic action plans. And finally, treat your thoughts as the architectural blueprints for your behavior, not as magic spells designed to command the universe. By doing this, you are literally rewiring your neural pathways for genuine, sustainable triumph. By mastering this, you're no longer just a passive dreamer waiting around for the universe to deliver. You become a fierce, active architect of your own destiny. Armed with this deep understanding of your brain's actual biology, the only real question left to ask yourself is this: what will you choose to build with your blueprint today?